Politics, they say, is an interest-driven game. And when interests clash, the outcome could be unpredictable. As the race for the 2027 presidency begins to gather momentum, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has declared that he will not withdraw from the presidential race. Atiku is countering calls by the obedience movement, who are insisting on Obi or nothing presidential ticket. In a statement titled "Nigeria's Democracy Under Siege, Opposition Faces Existential Threat," Atiku, however, noted that all contenders for the ADC ticket would submit themselves to a presidential convention, having been assured by the party's national leadership of its commitment to an open, transparent and competitive process for selecting its presidential flag bearer. All right, VQ, what does Atiku's refusal to step down for the 2027 presidential race mean? I mean, what does this say? Confidence or risk misjudgment?
It's a very funny question. Somebody who has been contesting
forever.
Somebody who has been contesting for more than 3 decades. So you want him to step down for Peter Obi? Is that what? Why do you think they started this ADC, or they acquired this ADC? The way billionaires acquire football clubs in England. That's how they've acquired this ADC. You think they did that for somebody to just simply walk into the party and take the presidential ticket? Who does that? So he knows that some people are piling pressure on account of his age that he should step out. But he comes from a continent where people can barely walk, are presidents of countries. He comes from a continent where Yoweri Museveni, in 1992, here in Nigeria, there was an OAU conference. Somebody walked up to him and they were interviewing, and he said, whoever spends 10 years in office must have overstayed his welcome. That was Yoweri Museveni, a young, very radical president of Uganda. He had just taken power. But the same Yoweri Museveni, who said whoever spends 10 years in office must have overstayed his welcome, he's been there. He's been there. He's not prepared to go. He's not prepared to go. He's been in power since the 80s, in the late 80s also, I think 1986 also. 86, 96, 2007. He's been there.
It's 39 years.
39 years on the throne. And he's not prepared to go. Yes. Atiku comes from a continent where in South Africa, a journalist asked the former president of Zimbabwe, Mugabe, he said, President Mugabe, when are you going to bid goodbye to the people of Zimbabwe? And his answer was, where are they going? This is not fiction. I witnessed it. So they do not feel like leaving power. And as far as Atiku is concerned, he's been told that one day he will become president of Nigeria. And he believes that that has to come to pass. That if it does not come to pass, it is because he has not made enough effort. So he's been making effort. He's a serial contestant. He's a serial litigant, post-election litigant, and he's been hanging on. Today is the face of the opposition. And whether we like it or not, he's going to be in this race. He wants to combust whatever notion people have that is going to step down for Peter Obi. It was the same question that Kwankwaso was asked in 2022, in the months leading to the 2023 presidential election. And he got angry. Why are you saying I should step down for someone who is not as experienced as I am in politics? He met me in the game. It's not better than me. Why are you suggesting that I should step down for him? Kwankwaso got angry. I'm sure that Atiku at this stage is becoming frustrated because the question keeps popping up. Will you contest? Will you step down for Peter Obi? In order not to make it look like, he's directing the frustration and anger at Peter Obi's people. He's now accusing the APC government of being the ones trying to bringing up this argument. He's saying that, let me see, he said, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is shrinking democratic space and deliberately weakening opposition parties. He then blamed the APC, accused the APC of meddling in the choice of a presidential candidate for the ADC. How is the APC meddling? As a party, you take your decision. Must you blame everything on the ruling party? PDP have crisis today that they could have sensibly addressed by listening to Bukola Saraki, who suggested a caretaker.
Okay.
He said, no, this is not the time for convention. Yes. Let's have a caretaker committee. When the APC was in that kind of situation, they went for a caretaker committee headed by Governor May Malabuni of Yobe State, who used to be the national secretary of the party. And they were able to smoothen things out. They found a way. Rather than listen to Bukola Saraki, they went to Ibadan to waste precious money on a convention. They got, despite the fact there were 2 judgments of courts telling them to not proceed with the convention, they proceeded based on a directive or another from a backstreet court in Ibadan. A court that does not have jurisdiction on INEC. That didn't supervise the convention.
All right,
so this is when these things happen, you can't keep blaming the ruling party. You wanted to do a convention at which at least 10 state chapters will not be present.
Boycotted,
yes. Okay, no, not that they boycotted, because they had not done congresses. You must do one before the other.
Exactly.
So if they went to a convention now without a valid congress, can those people vote?
It's not possible.
I mean, it's commonsensical. Not that they wanted to stay away. They were not permitted by law to be there because they didn't have congresses. So at the end of the day, you have a convention based on an order from a small court in Ibadan. When you could simply have listened, you brought Bukola Saraki and you made him chairman of your reconciliation committee, yet you will not take his advice. At the end of the day, what do you have? You have a stalemate that you should be ashamed of. They don't have candidate for the governorship election in Osun. They don't have candidate for the governorship election that is coming in Ekiti. I mean, how do you then describe such a party? But at the end of the day, they will say it's APC.
That is the problem.
You made wrong choices. You took bad decisions. And then you say, oh, it is APC. APC will be happy, of course, if people are weak. If you were in their shoes, you too will be happy if they become weak. But there are decisions that you must take, and you must get your decisions right. Once you don't get those decisions right, whatever you build upon that is merely a waste of time.
Absolutely.
It's empty gas.
All right, BK. So, Atiku, the former vice president, he's advocating for a fair and open, process where all the candidates can compete on equal terms. How does this affect the ADC's chances, against the incumbent president, in 2027?
Well, I mean, a house divided against itself definitely will not stand. And if you are not strong enough, we already know the strength the present president is bringing to the contest in 2027. A lot of indices are showing that we have a very serious leader who is, in a way, most unexpected, turning a lot of things around. Whether we like it or not, the man has set a standard.
Okay.
So if you're going to come up with an opposition, a kind of structure that you want to use to unseat such a man who is gaining a lot of momentum, not only nationally, but internationally, because of the way he's been handling, especially our economy. which is the most important thing now when you talk of development in Nigeria, it was going down the drain. But we are seeing a kind of turnaround. And it's obvious, unless you want to be mischievous. So for you to be able to stand against such a man, you can't handle it with kid gloves. You have to have a structure that is rock solid. And if you're not prepared, it's even something that they may not know. That should not,
guns.
yes, that should not
big
be
guns.
an idea of anybody who's just coming in and believes. You know, you want to win Nigeria. You must be pan-Nigeria. You must be seen everywhere. You must have a structure that is strong enough to be able to face the Tinubu juggernaut. If you don't have that, then you are jokers. So do they have that in their setup now? Are they really, I mean, because we've seen a lot of, some people will call it audio organization. We've been seeing a lot of white paper talks, fantasies. But is it the reality of your party at this particular moment to understand that the battle on hand is not a small battle? Tinubu, look at this, somebody, despite all the obstacles put in his way by a sitting government in 2023, he was not in government. He was seen as an outsider. A lot of things were done to fence him, let me use that word, from the power structure of the time because they feared him. But this man was able to bulldoze his way into the presidency. And now the man is the president of Nigeria. And is performing, whether we like it or not. And you think you can just go in there and shove him aside. You're joking. So whatever it is, yeah, that is good. The opposition is good. But let the opposition be sensible. Let the opposition be structured. And the opposition should not be hijacked. We should remember what happened. We are talking of wicked this, wicked that. Something led to what wicked has become today. Because some people used muscles, financial, whatever, ethnic, whatever, to turn around what was agreed. So if you still do the same thing, if you don't borrow from the failings or learn from the failings of the past, and you feel you can just face the president in 2027, then we must be jokers. So I will advise, yeah, opposition, it's good to have a credible opposition, but are they credible enough? Are the sponsors, are the major, I mean, juggernauts of that party, are they really serious? Is it because they want to remove Tinubu, or because they have something serious to offer Nigeria?
Alternatives.
What are you bringing on? Let people see this. All these stories about, what do you call politics? One of the tenets of politics for you to be able to win others to your side. Right. So if a party is trying to get others to join them, don't call it dictatorship.
Okay.
Yes.
Nikhil, I'm going to come to you after this one. We have Priye calling in from Akure. Priye, let's talk.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I greet everyone in the studio.
Thank you.
I wanted to comment on the article stepping down for other fresh ideas and leaders that can be able to face Tinubu in the 2027 general election. Article stepping down will make the coalition truly different from the past alignment, giving it a fresh edge, stronger unity, and a real chance to challenge the APC in 2027. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Priye. Nikhil, what do you think?
It will give the contest a completely different complexion, because Atiku has always been in the race, and they are familiar with him already. They are familiar with his strengths. He's a contestant that you've grown so accustomed to. So if he steps down for Peter Obi, it will make people happy in so many places. But will he? Will he step down? There is also the feeling that even that could be opposed, especially from the north. That Peter Obi will not get their votes. Peter Obi never won a single state with Muslim majority. Never won. There was no state that he won where Muslims are a majority. Of course, in Lagos, Muslims are not a majority. So he won Lagos.
That's true.
He won Lagos. In Osun State, Osun State has the highest percentage of Muslims in the whole of the Southwest. It was won by Atiku. So check, there is no state that he won where you have Muslim majority. And that should tell you that even at the apogee of his strength as a politician, he was unable to crack the nut. He won Nasarawa. Nasarawa is highly cosmopolitan, the most, their most urban communities are largely dominated by Igbos.
People from the east.
And other people from the
Karu,
south of
okay.
Nigeria, all those places.
Yes,
So,
yes.
and those are big voting communities, big voting blocks. So, the same thing, the same thing in Plateau. I'm not diminishing his strengths as a politician, but I will not sit here and deceive myself that he is stronger than he is. No, you are not going to hear that from me. Because I know whatever I say, people are paying attention. Thank God that what we say gets recorded. And many years after, people can go back.
to it.
When someone lied against me on Twitter, which is bursting at the seams with rumor mongers calling themselves intellectuals, when he lied against me that I predicted that Malam Nasir Rufai will not be re-elected in 2019, I challenged him to produce the video. He then produced a video where I said, oh, he's going to find it a lot tougher to win this time. Is that the same thing as saying he will not win? And my prediction that it will be tougher for him to win was correct. He didn't score even close to the votes that he scored in 2015. They lost more seats in the House of Assembly. And you know the elections are conducted the same day. So I wanted to make the point clear that, look, it's going to be more difficult this time. That was the point that I made. That they went to town saying he said, he predicted and he failed, that Rufai would not be re-elected. Where did I say so? Saying somebody will find it difficult this time is not the same thing as saying he will find it impossible this time. This is the problem with our people.
I think I agree with BK. You know, nobody is, if what is said about B, his approach to even his campaign strategies, is to help him to understand that, you know, why he failed. There is a lot of stories around, but people are not looking at the reason why somebody failed in the last election.
All right, we have a caller now. Tact calling in from Port Harcourt. Let's talk.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Hey, I want to contribute. Babajide, sorry. Why is it that anytime...
Hello?
Anytime what?
Okay. I think it was about to come after you.
Anytime what? We are entitled to our opinion.
Absolutely.
Whatever we say, we can defend it.
Absolutely.
Some of the things that, okay, look at Fubara now. How many things did I say about Fubara that didn't come to pass?
Sure.
Yes, the thing is, Nigerians don't like the truth. They want you to support what they think is right. And they may not have the information that you have.
True.
They want you to be politically correct. People sometimes say, Ajide, don't you think it's wrong to say this? Why should I refuse to say something because people will criticize me? Did they start it today? So criticizing me will now stop me from saying this. That means I'm a coward. I've never been a coward in my life. So if simply for people not to abuse me on social media, then I will not say something. Then you need to find a different person. That day will not come when I will be scared. to speak my mind.
I wish the caller would come back.
All right, gentlemen. Before the caller calls back, okay, we need
You wanted to complain about the Obi thing.
we need to go straight to
simple
our
as that.
final conversation because of our time.